I think was fortunate. I really loved school. I have to have some really excellent teachers that really captured the fact that I was ahead. I was one of those classic math and science kids, and was kicked around from private school, from public school to public school because I was too much of a troublemaker because I wasn't paying attention, and I'd rather read the encyclopedia, literally just sneaking apart. But I was fortunate enough to then get to a school where then there were some excellent teachers that really did capture some of that energy and direct it toward a good direction and kind of let me go that much further. We were really well equipped with equipment. This was in the 80s and the early 90s where technology was starting to be experimented with in the classroom. There's before internet times, but access to equipment, I don't want to emphasize too much. I mean, university equipment, level equipment is interesting if you're going to do some experimental work or computer science, perhaps. But actually, it's pretty amazing now how well technology, the really low barrier of entry technology is nowadays. So I think there's some other challenges there with what technology in the classroom really is about. Just to go with the kind of the C's alliteration that Ken's brought up. A couple things I think school is going to be really, or school was really important for me, and continue should be, is communication. One of the things that I think is really important, one of the reasons why school is really good, is for folks to actually get together and be able to learn how to communicate with each other. And I don't mean just socially, I mean actually how to convey concepts of what they may have just learned, and be able to communicate it, and as she touched upon, also collaboration is really the only way to really get things done. One of the things I like to try to tell kids all the time is a lot of the cheap, quick, easy tricks in physics or math or whatever haven't discovered already. So a lot of problems now are actually pretty hard, and it really doesn't, you have to let go of the fantasy that one person can kind of come up with something on their own in the lone garage kind of thing, and it requires multiple people working together. So in order to enable that, it really is teaching kids to communicate and work well together with each other, and working well together in collaboration really is about communication. Some of it's about mutual respect for other disciplines, because a lot of projects are very interdisciplinary. But the point is you can't just do it all yourself, and you have to communicate and learn how to present well and present your argument and make a convincing argument and challenge other people that way. But also to be didactic as well. I mean, I think kids should be really popular in school if they know, if they become good at explaining a concept to one of their peers, if perhaps they figured out that the teacher really isn't communicating or teaching in the right way. So I remember really clearly a few times when we were learning some concept, and I remember some of my colleagues were, some of my friends were just not getting something, but another kid was saying, no, he's teaching it really wrong, but here's what it should be. And I think that's extremely valuable to learn how to communicate, but also communicate didactically. And I think that might actually really help the future of this entire discussion, being able to embed that idea that you're not just communicating with us, let's try to help somebody else understand a concept. And that hopefully not be a self-propagating thing, right? The other C I'd like to mention is calibration, actually. One of the things that I think is really important for a school is not just amongst the M-squared communication amongst the students, but one of the roles I believe teacher and faculty and even just staff should convey is helping calibrate what knowledge or what problems are difficult to solve, or what's easy to solve, what's actually silly, and what actually is something that's really interesting, and why this is a challenge. Or it's not just understanding basic, providing a foundation of basic core skills and core encyclopedic knowledge or problem-solving skills. It's also helping them calibrate as they're about to get to the next level. What is difficult? Is this really something that's a contribution? Is this something that is novel? Some of these are concepts admittedly you might start to learn in university or in graduate school, but I think it's important to bring that further down. I remember I never actually participated in a science fair. My school really didn't believe in them, apparently, because they fostered competition. I'm not sure I agree with that. But I remember still seeing a flyer for one somewhere, and that was a national level. And I did do one of the Westinghouse. I did do a Westinghouse. I guess they call it the Intel competition now. But and I remember really being freaked out that what kind of project can I do? Because hasn't all this stuff been done before? How could I make a contribution there? That I have similar problems with essays for book reports or whatever. It's like, what am I going to write that nobody else hasn't already thought of before? And it was bad because somebody, I was already really thinking wrongly, I might have back then. It's like, no, you have to make some really big novel contribution, and this has to be some new work or something. There's a great essay, I forgot who wrote it, on called How Not to Get a PhD, which also tackles one of the main reasons is trying to do something that's just completely, something you'll get a Nobel Prize for eventually. But no, I mean, there's other types of work and contributions, and some things are just engineering exercises, some things are just useful to do to understand, and then there's other things that are useful that you actually should be encouraged to because you may actually make a breakthrough there or contribute to something that nobody's ever known anything about before. So.